I don't want to talk about PTSD necessarily. I want to talk about Owen, and more specifically, one blip of his dialogue that really stands out to me. Hello friends, welcome or welcome back. I've been attempting to cope with my worsening burnout by doing a hobby in the evenings instead of just rolling the same woes around inside my brain over and over and over again. I've gotten a lot of joy from coloring in this Zen coloring book that my partner had around the house, and I do that with a show on in the background, and in doing so, I've rewatched both The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor over the last couple of weeks. I basically blew through this rewatch of Bly Manor in 1 or 2 days because I don't have any work right now, which is perfectly dreadful, but it served as a great opportunity to revisit how perfectly splendid this show is. I love The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I've wanted to make a million different videos about it over the years, but I just haven't. That changes now though, because this show is a beautiful illustration of so many different nuanced topics that don't get enough airtime and conversation, particularly grief and complex trauma. There are aspects of Bly Manor that I don't necessarily love, but we're not talking about those. Not today, at least. In my opinion, Bly Manor does a fantastic job kind of painting a picture of what life can sometimes look like within the broken time machine that is PTSD or complex PTSD. I do want to discuss that at length another time, and while I haven't gone looking for video essays about this, I can almost guarantee somebody on this platform has already talked about Hannah and how she experiences the story being told. It gets me every time, that and Flora being fed up with being tucked away.
Everything is just fine. It's perfect.
It's not. I'm tired of being tucked away. I'm tired of forgetting things, and I'm tired of acting strange.
Glorious, beautiful, accurate representation of my own personal lived experience with flashbacks and dissociation. We stan TB quite H. But today, I don't want to talk about PTSD necessarily. I want to talk about Owen, and more specifically, one blip of his dialogue that really stands out to me. While totally unrelated to the experience of which Owen speaks, this one little part of his dialogue in that monologue situation beside the campfire, that speaks so directly to one branch of my grief surrounding the enmeshment and emotional labor and parentification, potato, everything that came from being the eldest daughter in the asylum where they raised me. Taylor Swift is like a core special interest of mine. I have no choice. I'm nervous about the newest track 5 being called Eldest Daughter. If you know, you know. The puzzle that is Taylor Swift. I digress. Throughout most of my life, being the child came with a lot of adult responsibilities, is what I'm trying to say. My mother often joked that I took such good care of her, and it's supposed to be the other way around, but it isn't, and that's funny. I digress. The point I am trying to make is, coffee break? Take a sip of your coffee. Throughout her final days, Owen's mom needed him, so he ventured back home from his journey abroad to be a, chef. I think he was a sous chef. He was only chopping vegetables, but here at Bly Manor, he would be doing everything, and it's a great learning experience. Anyway, he came home to take care of his mom and navigate her dementia alongside her until she sadly passed away. And though our mothers were not at all the same, it's not the same story. I'm not trying to minimize dementia or anything, but Owen's mom was the center of his whole world, as my mother was mine. He tended to his mother as I did mine, in very different ways. Once again, nuance. I am not trying to say it's the same. I'm trying to say I see something to relate to. I'm not trying to upset anybody, but I always do. The point I'm slowly crawling towards here is that Owen and myself cannot be the only two people on the planet, fictional or otherwise, who've had this sort of experience and carry this unique brand of pain and grief. His words in that scene of that episode are so healing for me personally that I needed to come and share, just in case there's anybody else out there who could benefit. And if there's any comfort to be had or anything, I don't know, subscribe. These words articulate so flawlessly something that I've never been able to put into words. And it might be something that in the future I point out to people who don't understand the title of Jeanette McCurdy's book. If you know, you know. But enough blabbing, here's the actual dialogue that I've been gushing about for all of these minutes now.
She had a sweet tooth and a dirty laugh, and she loved me so hard it hurt. sometimes, no matter what I did. She was gone long before she died, and I miss her. She was my anchor, and then I suppose she was my burden. Christ, she seemed so small at the end, but still so heavy, and all I could do was just let her hang on to me until it was time to let go, and soon I'll let her go too.
Later on, he states, "I'm untethered now, whether I like it or not." I don't even know what I'm trying to say with this video, but I guess the whole point is that there's something to be said about feeling seen. Nothing changes, and yet it has the potential to change everything. Simply not feeling alone as you float along without your anchor, further and further away from any idea of who you even are without this person, not being alone in that can sometimes be enough to keep your head above water as you drift along. You're still drifting, but somebody knows you're there. All hope is not lost. And to me, that's why it's important to have conversations like the one that Owen and Hannah had, the one we're having right now. And it's also why I think this type of representation in media and television is so important. It's okay to talk about heavy things, because then we're all carrying it together, and so it'll be a little lighter, with more hands on it, you know? Analogies and stuff. August is always kind of a difficult month for me. My body is out here keeping the score, and I'm losing. And I'm gonna take it today as an opportunity to remember that I miss my mom, and I miss my mom's laugh, and it makes me want to cry that I'm never gonna get to hear it again. Sometimes I even miss her holding on to me so tight that I could hardly breathe, but the time came for her to let go, and soon maybe I'll let go of her too. I'm not gonna let go. I'm going to release the bullshit and hold on to the sound of her laugh. My dog's about to start barking. There's one more little blip of dialogue that I want to try to hold on to, and I'd like us all to try to hold on to it and remember this. It's spoken by Viola Lloyd to her newborn baby daughter before everything happens. "I have no honeyed words to speak. It is fierce out there, but you are fiercer. That is to say, if you're floating around without an anchor, remember this. You're strong enough, and I hope that when it matters, you remember that. Your anchor may be gone, and yet the water is still flowing, and you are still drifting. You don't have to do it alone, but I promise you can do it." I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I hope your coffee is perfect today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you as always to the Turtle Club for keeping this little channel afloat as I drift along. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and others today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.